What if the monsters from legends were never just stories? Maybe they're not fiction, just well hidden. You've heard the tales, a friend of a friend, or that one strange uncle who swears it's true. Today, we uncover 6 legendary creatures that have haunted human imagination for generations. Some stalk the deep, some hide in forgotten forests, and some might be watching right now. This is only the beginning, and what comes next gets darker. Not all monsters are born. Some are built. Let me tell you about one of the oldest and most obedient creatures ever imagined. The Golem, formed from clay, shaped by human hands, brought to life through mystical rituals and a single word of power. The Golem was created to serve, without question. No soul, no thoughts, only purpose: protect its master. This legend comes from Jewish folklore, especially 16th century Prague. They say Rabbi Judah Low built a golem to defend the Jewish people from rising violence. To awaken it, he carved the Hebrew word emet, truth, into its forehead. But when it turned violent, all he had to do was erase one letter. Emet became met, death. And the golem collapsed. That should have been the end. But some say the rabbi hid the lifeless body in the attic of the old synagogue. And it's still there, waiting. Today, the myth lives on, even in video games like Minecraft, where the iron golem protects villagers. But was it ever real? Most scholars say no. They see the golem as a warning, a symbol of what happens when humans try to control power they don't fully understand. Still, the legend endures, and if you ever walk the old streets of Prague at night, some claim you can hear it. The creak of ancient wood, as if something heavy just shifted in the attic above you. Part lion, part eagle, all legend. The Griffin is one of mythology's most majestic and mysterious hybrids. With the body of a lion and the wings and head of an eagle, it was seen as a guardian of treasure, a symbol of divine power, and a protector of the sacred. From the ancient palaces of Persia to the epic poems of Greece, this creature soared through centuries of belief. But what if the griffin wasn't born from fantasy, but from fossils? Some scholars believe that ancient nomads, traveling across Central Asia, stumbled upon the bones of a long-extinct creature, the Protoceratops, a dinosaur with a parrot-like beak and a 4-legged body. To someone unfamiliar with dinosaurs, it might have looked like a strange lion-bird hybrid, exactly like the griffin carved in ancient stone. A misunderstanding of ancient bones, or proof that something once walked this earth, that defied all logic, real or not. The griffin endures, standing at the crossroads of myth and paleontology, a symbol of strength, of guardianship, and of humanity's relentless quest to understand the unknown. Some creatures don't need claws or fangs to kill, just a single look. The basilisk, known as the king of serpents. This legendary monster could slay with a glance, and its very breath was said to scorch the land. You might remember it from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, a monstrous serpent slithering through the pipes of Hogwarts, leaving victims petrified in its wake. But the legend is far older. For centuries, the basilisk haunted maps, manuscripts, and imaginations, and some believe it might have roots in reality. Ancient people may have unearthed the bones of massive serpents, like Titanoboa, a prehistoric snake over 12 meters long, powerful enough to devour crocodiles. Imagine finding that skull, half buried in the earth. To someone with no concept of extinct reptiles, it might have seemed like a beast that could kill with a stare. And so, the basilisk was born, not in the wild, but in the space between fear and fossil. It no longer slithers through the shadows, but it still lives, in whispered tales, in fantasy films, and in the stories we tell when we try to make sense of what we fear most. Deep in the forests of North America, people say something still walks among the trees, towering, hair-covered, watching from the shadows. Bigfoot. He's said to stand over 7 feet tall, a blend of prehistoric ape and woodland phantom. He walks upright, with massive arms and a heavy, lurching gait. Some say they've seen him. Others say they've heard him. But the evidence? Blurry photos, shaky videos, giant footprints in the mud, and none more famous than the Patterson-Gimlin film, 1967. A shadowy figure lumbers across a clearing, then turns and stares directly into the camera. That single glance became legend. One witness later said, "It didn't run. It didn't growl. It just looked calm, as if I was the intruder." Some scientists believe the myth may echo real history, possibly a memory of Gigantopithecus, a giant ape that once roamed ancient Asia. And no, Bigfoot isn't alone. In the icy Himalayas, his cousin is known as the Yeti, white-furred mountain-dwelling, equally elusive. But Bigfoot prefers the misty woods and silent rivers of the Pacific Northwest. So is he real? Science says no, but the forests say maybe. And maybe that's why we keep searching, not just for Bigfoot, but for a reminder that some corners of the world refuse to give up all their secrets. In the silence of the deep ocean, something called out. In 1997, a strange sound echoed across the Pacific, low, powerful, and utterly unknown. Scientists called it the Bloop. It wasn't just heard by one device, but by underwater microphones over 3,000 miles apart. It was organic, but too loud, too massive. No whale, no machine, no storm. What made it unforgettable wasn't just the sound, but where it came from. Near the coordinates of Relaya, the sunken city of Cthulhu, from the mind of H.P. Lovecraft. That eerie coincidence sparked wild theories. Could something be stirring beneath the waves? Something ancient? Something alive? Eventually, the official explanation surfaced. An ice quake, the shifting of massive glaciers under ocean pressure. But not everyone believed it. Some researchers still wonder, what if the bloop was a call, not an accident? To this day, we've never heard anything quite like it. One thing is certain, the ocean isn't silent. Maybe it never was. Maybe we just never learned how to listen. Some monsters look like they were designed in nightmares. This one was the Chimera, a lion's body, a goat's head growing from its back, and a serpent for a tail. Oh, and it breathed fire. Greek legends called it an abomination, a creature that should not exist. It was born from horror itself, the offspring of Typhon and Echidna, the mother and father of all monsters. It roamed the land of Lycia, destroying everything in its path, until one day, a hero rose to stop it, Bellerophon, riding the winged horse Pegasus. He struck from above, and the beast finally fell. But the Chimera didn't vanish. Its name lived on. Today, in modern biology, a chimera isn't a fire-breathing beast, but a living organism made from different genetic sources. Mice with human brain cells, goats that grow spider silk, real-life chimeras, strange in ways the ancients could never imagine. The myth also survives in pop culture. In fantasy novels, video games, and anime, it's become a symbol of unnatural fusion, of uncontrollable power, and of our deepest fear. What happens when nature stops playing by its own rules? Does the chimera exist? Not in the world of flesh and blood, but in myth, in science, and in imagination. It is very much alive. They might be myths. They might be warnings. Or maybe something more. Which of these legends do you believe in? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. The next mystery is closer than you think.